fiddlesticks!
What, Wilbur?
We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What?
Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What?
Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hey, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Our question, what is the worst trouble that you got into growing up? And here come those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
You've got mail.
Guys, I grew up in the Midwest in high school shortly after 9/11. In 8th grade, I, being a stupid kid, filled an envelope with a flower that incorrectly spelled anthrax on the envelope. Gave it to my best friend, who laughed. Eventually, the teacher caught us passing it back and forth. I think we knew we would get in trouble if we got caught, but neither of us expected to get arrested by actual police. Well, that was just mostly for show. I remember being back in the squad car, crying my eyes out, while Phil very heroically told me, "Don't tell them anything. If you tell them anything, we're going to jail." But it never came to that. Our parents picked us up, and they told us that we were going to be expelled. I spent my whole summer making up 8th grade so I could move on to high school with my friends. Phil, however, not so fortunate. He got held back, and our friendship never recovered.
Poor Phil.
That from Sean.
Tell them nothing.
Guys, the older neighborhood guys were out with their .22 caliber pellet rifles, were on our front yard trying to shoot the crow. It was in a tree. Younger of the three older boys, David has his pellet rifle barrel down sitting on his boot and told me to stay away from the trigger. I was 8. Curiosity got the best of me. I snuck close to David, pulled the trigger. He began yelling and dropped to the ground. He took off his boot and his sock. His toe had just exploded. And eventually he lost his toe. Got in serious trouble on that one. And from the Elk Plain Drifter. Back in the 90s, when my friends and I were about 16, we would all meet up late at night and borrow one of our parents' cars. One night, my buddy and a couple of his friends helped me push out my dad's 69 Mercury Marauder down the street for a joyride. So we're going to this chick's house, my buddy was saying, and me and his friends were waiting outside near the car when this old man comes out with a gun. Says we're breaking into his car. We weren't, so he says he called the cops. We load up and start to leave, and a cop pulls up behind us. My dad was a hardcore alcoholic and left 40 bottles in the back seat. My buddy's friends open the door and throws like 3 out with a cop behind us. Immediately lights go on. Cops take me home. I asked the officer to stick around because I was scared of getting a whooping. Cop said, "If you were my kid, I'd beat your ass raw." My dad was so mad he didn't talk to me for a week, which was more scary. Luckily, he did not press charges. That from Ross, the maintenance guy. Freshman year, I punched the assistant principal of an adjoining middle school. He put his hands on me, so I socked him in the shoulder. He took his hands off and said, "Ooh, that's assault." Next thing I know, the school officers had me on the ground in handcuffs. Nothing came of it. Oh, yeah, he was also the football wrestling coach. Now he is the superintendent for a completely separate district. I hung the front page of the district school newsletter I got in September up on my fridge because this is the man that I punched in 9th grade. Don't worry about your kid's education. This from a WCMFer in Rochester, New York.
Well, he shouldn't put his hands on you because that's also assault if you want to break it down.
Yeah, and I feel like you punch a wrestling coach, he's going to hit you back.
Mm-hmm. Kakabich, today is my partition buddy's birthday. We share a cubicle wall. Not sure how many solar revolutions she's made, but she's still rocking it. So could you please make Leanna's day super awesome with the dirty Germans talking about having random objects thrown at your face all day. She loves you guys almost as much as I do. That from the lovely Christina.
Yeah, I do not know that you would call my penis a random object, but it will be thrown at your face all day.
Yeah, the strangest part's going to be also cheese that's all over your face. She said random.
Yeah.
What's these things here, Montgomery?
I don't know. It sounds good to me.
It's like a provolone. It's American.
A goida.
Goida?
Or Gouda.
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 What? She wants a goiter.
Goida. I want a goiter. Oh, it's my daughter Harley's birthday today. She's 27 years old. Could you please give her a little kid fish sandwich, a bong rip, and the Dirty Germans talking about being a new mom. Thanks, fellas. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I understand that you're a new mother. All I need to know is how old is the baby. If it's older than 6 weeks, I'm in.
Yeah. So I want this coffee with a lot of cream. So I heard you're producing the finest.
Yeah.
It's maybe not Cambodian, but some of the best breast milk in the world.
Yeah, you can have sex and rehydrate all at the same time. It's like drinking Gatorade during a marathon.
Yeah, it's full of electrolytes.
All of you legends, liquor, and dancers, it is I, the creepy neighborhood ginger pronounced Adam. Today is my 38th birthday. Could I please have Nicolas Cage explain to me what I should do in the event of being in a threesome?
Oh my God! If you have the opportunity to be in a threesome, you need to do it before you run out of time.
Bitches, can you get a birthday shout out for my wonderful fiance, Derek? He is 41 years old. Can you have your penis is too small? And the Dirty Germans talking about dumping multiple loads a day, as he is a dump truck driver. Thanks, guys. That from Tammy.
Yeah, oddly enough, that is the nickname for my penis, the dump truck.
Yeah, and sometimes things end up in the backs of dump trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trucks. What's it? Like a dumps.
Pros, as I near the end of my 21st season in the landscape industry and celebrate my 45th birthday today, it would be awesome to get Ozzy Ted talking about gardening and blowing leaves. That from your loyal listener from the Buzz Days, Pangea Joe.
Yeah, Ted here from Melbourne. I'll tell you something about gardening. Hard work. Why? Snakes. Evil little buggers. Now, leaf blowing. That's simple. Get down on all fours, give it a puff.
Leif Erikson, Leif Garrett, I do not know.
Guys,
down here we blow a lot of leaves.
It's my wife's 65th trip around the old sun today. Please send Toral a happy birthday with your penis is too small and a suck it up cupcake. That from Frosty.
So, suck it up, cupcake!
All right, guys, here you go. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's world famous sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob, and we appreciate a couple extra emails here. Subject is Eagle Scout. It says, Dear Mike.
Oh, Mike.
Just thought I would share these pictures with you. I sent these items down to Bend, Oregon for my middle son, Donnie, as he's the Eagle Scout of my kids.
Nice.
The badge and sash are from Uncle Jack and from 1935 when he was in Eagle Scouts. Ironically, Donnie and my Uncle Jack shared the same birthday. Just thought you would appreciate that. I guess it's some Eagle Scout talk.
I do appreciate that. It's fantastic.
I'm talking about. As far as roommates go, guys, back in college, I had a huge rear projection TV. It was an epic hand-me-down, so I bought a new surround sound system to go along with it. Roommates all decided to have a movie night, but being underage, we just couldn't get a lot for booze. But my roommate, Jeff, could get a case of Steel Reserve. No one told him it was malt liquor, and he slammed the whole thing. A few hours later, he is waking up in a lurch, jumping off the couch, and preparing to pee all over my subwoofer. My other roommate snatches him up and takes him back into the bathroom where Jeff proceeds to fight him off, assuring us he's, quote, got it. But then he strips naked. 15 minutes later, he comes back out with his jeans back on, inside out and snapped. Good times in college. What an education. That from the Spirit Chucker.
Did you say a case of Steel Reserve?
A case. Yeah. Guys,
Seems insane.
It is insane.
My roommate and best friend to this day went out to a bar one night with two girls he'd recently met. At the end of the night, they ran into an ex-boyfriend. My friend was knocked out cold with one punch from the guy. They called the cops. He spent 2 days in the hospital, had to wear a neck brace for a few weeks. A few days after he was released from the hospital, a group of us went on a snowboarding trip, but on the way, we flipped the Jeep 2 times into a ditch in northern Michigan. On the way out of the Jeep, I was panicking and repeatedly kicked my roommate in the head 3 or 4 times, but we made it out okay. P.S. to the caller who said he burned down a barn when he was a teenager in Reed City, Michigan, but said doesn't matter because no one who listens to the men's room knows where it is. I've been to the town, and now I can't wait to find the charred remains, that little blonde girl left behind. That from the Forest Dweller. Here's a nice email about the radio station. Guys, I've heard your commercials about how long people have been listening to KISW so far. What I've learned is I think I've got them all beat. I've been listening for almost 50 years. Just saying. Have a great day, guys. That from Tanya.
Damn.
Who's been there from the very beginning. And Tanya, if that's the case, don't forget at 5:30, we've got the audio from 1980 when Van Halen came in the studio with TV Time with Ted. Upcoming Pilsner is the subject. Ola Bachola's with a new beer that Elysian is working on. Is there any way to talk them into bottling it in some 12-ounce stubby bottles like the little ponies? That from Alex.
I mean, maybe. We don't know.
We just want to get the thing on draft first so we can get it in that. That would be great. And then whatever. I love ponies. I love buckets of little tiny beers. For whatever reason, when I see those, I get very, very, I don't care if it's Bud Light. I don't care what it is. If you got little teeny tiny bottles and a bucket of ice and we sit it on the table.
Teeny tiny bottles.
I get excited.
I'm with you.
I do, man. The beer stays cold because it's so small.
I hate to be this person.
What?
But he's talking about a 12-ounce stubby bottle. You're talking
stubby?
about ponies.
You're talking about stubby like
ponies are only 7 ounces.
Stubby like a grenade?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a bad idea either. I like a good grenade. Okay.
But Miles, I am with you. I could pound down some ponies.
Yeah.
They used to sell them in 8-packs of High Life.
Still makes
I'm
me
with
excited.
you, man. Like, I'm excited
I
just
like
thinking
weird
about
little
it.
bottles. Speaking of Miller High Life, they do have the little tiny bottles, but then they also have the big bottle that they do at Christmas where it's in a champagne bottle.
Yeah.
Every time I see that, I'll lose my mind.
I still haven't got one.
It's exciting. It's so exciting to pop that. You know why? Because it's not crappy wine. It's not some kind of whatever, champagne. It's beer. It's a champagne of beers.
You know what? I might drink something weird tonight, like a bumper.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting spirits.
Right. What I eat to discuss, people, guys. The food choice that I've always gotten the most scrutiny over is salmon and ketchup sandwiches.
I want to rip my tongue out of my mouth.
Gross.
I take 2 pieces of whole white bread, a pouch of salmon, and slather it in Heinz ketchup. Delicious.
No, it's not.
Keep rocking. Love what you guys do. That from JC.
I love ketchup, but that's a tough one.
That is a very tough one.
That is so gross.
I mean, even if I had like salmon fingers,
no, it doesn't matter.
Salmon nuggets.
Right. And one more here, guys. What did I steal from a previous employer about 10 years ago? I was a manager at a very popular fast food restaurant. I had the key to the freezer door, which led to the outside. I just grabbed some bags of frozen nuggets and bacon, frozen pink slime discs, etc., and loaded up in a box in my vehicle right before my shift ended. Also, while closing the place, after we took count of all the food waste, everything that was cooked, and in the warmer, everyone would just make sandwiches and everything they wanted to take home. Good times. That from Shane in Arkansas.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks last.
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Last. Steve Quilhill, you bring us 3 stories each and every week. All of them suck to some degree. Yeah. But it is up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Now, if you like KISW on Facebook or you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
And like I said, we have 3 stories where I feel like the suck factors of equal value, but each person did something a little different. Let's start down the road in Oregon, where for the past 2 years, someone's been leaving bags of poop, human poop, along roads in Multnomah County. I'm sure I said it wrong. Anyway, officials are hoping whoever is behind it will come forward soon. Spoiler alert, that person is not coming forward anytime soon. But Officer David Thompson says, quote, "We're talking a significant amount of raw human poop mixed with kitty litter, and that's just not a good thing." He says the issue started back in 2018. Plastic shopping bags full of human feces mixed with kitty litter being left on the side of the road. Now, they're typically left late at night. He even adds between the hours of midnight and 4 a.m. But now it has picked up velocity, and it's happening almost weekly. This cop even switched to the night shift to catch the suspect in the act, saying, quote, "Not only is it an eyesore, but it's a sanitary issue. It's a public health concern. If we can't remove these bags of feces intact, what remains is just going to be washed into a ditch line, polluting this pristine economy." Now, he says he's had to remove about 100 bags. Some were picked up by others. Some, of course, are run over by cars. And while it might be hard to imagine why someone would do this guy, he's trying to stay above board. He says, look, you're actually carrying human feces in your vehicle for an extended period of time. That's not normal human behavior. There could also be an economic issue. We suspect it could be a failed septic system. He's saying it could also be a person who doesn't have a home or secure address or access to a bathroom.
It's too much.
Right. But
no, there's no way that's personal.
I don't know. Look, he's trying to take the high road on this, but he's also asking, can you please stop leaving your poop on the side of the road? Now we go to the United Kingdom. Mike, I believe you covered this story earlier this week where a man performed a sex act on himself. He's masturbating, but he's doing this outside of a family home after getting drunk going to the horse races. Scott McGowan stood outside of the family home performing the act after he'd been to the Haydock races. He also urinated on the family's doorstep. The 34-year-old told police he'd been to the races to get really drunk and said in an interview he didn't remember asking the resident, quote, "Have you seen my D?" as he performed the act outside of the man's home. See, the homeowner heard footsteps outside of his house about 8 o'clock at night. He then opened the door, and the first thing he did, he stepped out of the door and into a puddle of urine. Right on the other side of that puddle of urine is our guy who's handling his business. So the homeowner asked, quote, "What are you doing?" And that's when McGowan replied, "Have you seen my D?" Well, when the dad went back inside of the house, McGowan kicked the door down. This, of course, prompted the homeowner to now call the police. When the police showed up, they took him into custody. But when the police got there, and it took 10 minutes for the police to get there from the time he placed the call, when the police arrived, he was still masturbating on this poor guy's front steps. Anyway, he was handed a 2-year community order and must complete 10 days of rehab. All right.
Okay.
And now let's go to Florida, where a Fort Pierce cop, he was dispatched to the Lion's Den adult superstore, quote, in reference to a disturbance. Now, en route to the business, a dispatcher noted that there was a female in the store wearing a purple shirt and had no pants. But before the officer entered the Lion's Den, a worker explained that the masturbating suspect had removed a sex toy from the packaging and was now fully nude. The woman had disappeared into the stock room with the sex toy. When the cop entered the stock room, the officer found Teresa Stanley sitting in an office chair with her feet up on the table. She had, this is how they describe it, a pink-colored penis-shaped sex toy in her hand and was using the device, quote, in a masturbatory manner, meaning she was masturbating. Well, right after the cop appeared, she stopped making use of the sex toy and dropped it to the ground where it made a splat sound. And actually, I made up that last part. It did not make a splat sound. But she was arrested for theft. She was arrested for theft and indecent exposure. Luckily, both of those are misdemeanors for her. After being read her rights, she just stopped talking to the cops. Anyway, she's being held in prison in lieu of $1,500 bond. So, to go back, we start in Oregon, where an unknown person is leaving multiple bags of human feces on the side of this one highway in this one county, but the amount that they're doing it keeps ticking up. Mm-hmm. We have the man in the United Kingdom who was drunk, peed on the front doorstep of a person's house while masturbating directly outside of their front door. And then we have the woman in Florida who went to the sex shop, just grabbed her toy directly out of the packaging, went to the storeroom, and gave it an old test run, if you will.
Yeah. If you like KISW on Facebook, Mike says bags of waste is the least bad. The other offers a far too easy way of coming into contact with bodily fluids. I disagree with that. I think that the guy in Oregon, he sucks the most.
Guy leaving the poop bags?
Absolutely. Simply because it's either him or the guy in England who tried to beat down the door. Fortunately, nobody was injured in that. The guy's out of his mind. He's obviously drunk.
He was very drunk.
He should not have urinated. I don't think he remembers any of that incident. Obviously.
I believe that the problem is not whether or not you remember, it's that you did it.
Exactly. That guy in Oregon, he knows exactly what he's doing. I'm telling you, man, things are whacked down there in some areas of Oregon. I'm not kidding you. I think, believe it or not, the woman in Florida who was caught in the adult store, she was in the back. Granted, she didn't have her pants on at first. Didn't seem like there were a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
She went into the back, and she was taking care of her own business. Now, I know that's not how you're supposed to do it.
Obviously.
But, all things considered, she wasn't in anyone's sight.
Right. Right. Okay. No one had to witness.
No one had to see this. She was obviously enjoying herself. I'm sure she had to pay for this product, maybe.
I would think they're like, we're going to need you to cover that. I just think
all in all, as far as the harm or the whatever you're inflicting on others, that seems to be the one that with the least implications of anyone else having to deal with something.
Yeah, I was going to pick the guy in the UK till I realized he's kicking down the door and...
Right. That's where he went wrong. Everything else
he's
is
just
kind
a
of
drunk guy on your deck. It's terrible, but you could get him off there. I don't know, though. I'm torn. I mean, this could be multiple people leaving multiple bags all over Oregon.
Yeah, but it's always a mix of kitty litter, which is why most people would not take the time to do that. That's why this cop believes it's the same culprit. Although I guess you could run a DNA test.
I mean, I guess here's the only thing. the woman in Florida sucks the least, but she has to pay for it.
She does. As long as you pay for it, it's
Like,
water
we
under
can't
the
use
bridge.
that merchandise anymore.
I think that guy is basically emptying his own septic tank without having to pay for it.
You think?
I think that's it. I think he's basically just saying, like, look, I'll just bag it up. I'll get rid of it on my own.
Maybe.
I'm not going to pay for it.
Do you think he's pooping in the litter box?
No, I don't think he's pooping in the litter box. I just think that his septic tank is full and he doesn't want to pay to have someone come out there and suck it out. That would be my guess. Or he doesn't have a bathroom. But either way, like, that's 100 bags.
Yes.
I mean, think about how long it would take you to...
I'm combining our theories. I think his septic tank is full, and he is pooping in a litter box.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you like KISW on Facebook, you are listening to The Men's Room.
Bro, gnarly. What's up, Taylor? Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man. Dude, no way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro. Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case. Dude, no way. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
You're in the men's room. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Coming up in minutes, we'll drink, we'll toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, there's a man in Michigan that pooped in an empty box in a store and put it on the shelf.
A lot of weird poop stories.
Come on,
I
man.
was kind of wondering why you didn't use that one for this segment today.
He pooped in a box.
Right. So he goes into the store.
It's a
and says,
log in a box.
Right. Here's this empty box. I'm going to fill it and put it on the shelf.
Step 2. Open the box.
Put the butt in the box. Step 3.
And police are on the lookout for the man. Now, I understand why you at least need to say that you're on the lookout for this guy, but
You're not really.
Short of a DNA.
You've got his DNA.
Right.
Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah, but they
That's
don't
a
want to
good
test
point.
it.
Short of doing that test, what are you going to do? Check the surveillance camera. We're going to get a blurry photograph, and you're going to put that up on the social
Well,
media
they have
pages.
a DNA match of him in the system already.
Sure.
And they can figure out who he is immediately.
If you're a cop, you're laughing about it. Hey, man, you know what? We're going to keep an eye out for this. You're not.
No.
And you're going to go back and say, hey, guys, that call I went to, yeah, some dude pooped in a box. I mean, come on.
We should have a show where we just interview cops the entire day.
What cases do you ignore?
Right.
And look, we get it. Somebody pooped in a box.
What was your worst day on the job?
How many naked men have you tackled?
Criminy. A man in Florida that
3.
Just cops did.
Because I wanted to.
Sorry. That was an open-ended question.
He was a really good-looking man. Strapping.
He didn't know he was just in the locker room at the gym.
All right. They're still looking for my DNA.
How about this one here? A man in Florida that led cops on a chase was apprehended after his truck went airborne and landed on top of another cop car.
Damn.
I don't know how he managed to get it up in the air, but he did, and then it came down on the cop car.
Saw a cargo airborne on a video today in New Jersey and crashed into somebody's house. It was a mom. She was drunk. She had 3 kids in the car with her.
Oh,
my God.
Yeah, I mean, took out the kitchen, went all the way through the house and out the backside of it.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a massive torpedo if you do it right.
Oh, yeah.
No, if you do it wrong.
Correct. That's a very...
Right. Your
fair
car
thing to
should
have
not,
said.
be like a torpedo.
There's a 17-year-old in Texas that has just broken the world record for longest legs.
Oh, did you see a picture of this woman?
I did.
It's
crazy.
Yeah.
It's not good, is it? Because it's so freaky?
It's not long
No, it's not
legs.
bad.
Like, ooh, she has long, beautiful. I mean,
Come on over and check this out, Mom.
it is insane.
I got it over here for you. Here we go. Let me jump back over here. We'll fight it.
Does she play a sport?
Of course, you had to ask.
I'm not sure that she plays a sport.
She doesn't strike me as having a lot of strength in her legs, just that they are very, very, very,
But
very
she's
long.
also broken the world
Oh,
record
wow.
for longest legs while a teenager as well.
It'll
So
keep
some
it up.
people continue to grow after their teenagers, and she'll probably break that one as well. But
Yeah, she has long legs.
right. And it's not like she's not proportionate. I mean, she's got a decent torso, but she is all leg.
If she buys thigh-high boots, they're anklets.
See, people like her, I feel bad for because she has to buy pants from
I
somebody.
was going to say, where are you going to buy jeans at?
Right.
Just wear skirts.
Everything looks like floods.
She can't go to Target like I do. Exactly. Waist doesn't go high enough.
I hope she doesn't listen to the show because she's feeling bad about herself. Like, guys, I know, Jesus, I can't go to Target. Thank you.
Go to Target like I do.
I worked with a man last...
evil, Mike.
No, not at all. I feel bad. I worked with a dude this weekend. He's 7 foot tall. He had his suit on and he had his vest. Couldn't fit his shoulders properly, so that little like velvety part in the back was coming up and over his shoulders. He has to have everything specially bought because he's massive.
Yeah, when you're 7 foot, honestly, like you can't even buy a pair of jeans.
No. It's awful.
There's an ex-basketball player that has like a whole line for like really tall people.
Shaq?
No, because his would be just massive humans in general.
Even basketball players, I'm not that big, dude.
Yeah.
Shaq. Oh, man.
I got Shaq shoes. If you don't buy shoes, I got Shaq shoes.
Miles got into this.
Yeah.
Miles Montgomery bought Shaq shoes.
No problem with those.
He could dunk, but he couldn't hit a free throw.
Shoot like mad in those.
Just foul shots.
They made the difference.
He put on my shoes, people started calling him Kazan.
Gave me the edge.
Blue chip.
Couldn't hit a free throw, but everything else is great.
Dunkin' and Baskin Robbins have collaborated to make a milkshake that has donuts blended in.
As a stoner, I'm like 8 years ahead of you. Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
They also have stores that are together.
Dunkin' and Baskin Robbins?
Yeah, like the one where I grew up. When they put it in, it's both. It's like half Dunkin', half kind of like you see the KFC Taco Bells.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen next? Is KFC going to slide a tender into a taco?
Nothing wrong with that, man. Good
idea.
I'm just saying, like, it seems like you could have gone in there and said, "Hey, man, you want to mix up a donut in my milkshake?"
You know what happened? This is my guess what happened. So you got these two places next to each other. You work in fast food. You're getting high. We know it. You're not fooling anyone, right? Late night, we're closing up. Hey, man, before you throw those donuts out at the end of the night, give us a few. We're making a milkshake. And they've been bugging their manager about this for a year. And the manager keeps saying, no, you dumb stoner, stop doing it. And finally, the manager took a sip and said, we are running this up with the corporate ladder.
Right.
You're right.
You know,
if I worked at one of those combo places, I'd be mixing and matching stuff all the time.
100%.
Just trying everything I could.
Yeah, I remember when they put it in. I mean, this feels like my dad came up with this idea like 15 years ago.
You know who figured that out and isn't hiding the ball? Jack in the Box. Their late night menu. Yeah, we know what that means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we got everything.
Right.
And Jack in the Box knows their audience. All of their commercials are like, are you a stoner? We're open and we have a lot of selection.
Right. Yeah. It starts at 10 o'clock. We have grilled cheese.
Right. They were kind of like the first fast food place that just openly say, like, we know you're high.
Right.
And we have everything you could want.
Everything.
Hey, man, you want some loaded fries? Come on in. 10 o'clock. There are two men in Nigeria.
Have you seen the loaded mini tacos?
I think I've seen the commercial, but
yeah.
There are two men in Nigeria. I love this story. They asked a priest's forgiveness as they robbed the church.
You mean at the same time?
Yes.
Hey, man, your book says to turn the other cheek and be forgiving, so...
They're actively robbing the church, and then, just to clean everything up, they asked the priest for forgiveness.
I appreciate the vote.
I mean, that sounds awfully Catholic.
Right?
I feel so bad about this.
Hey, man, how many Hail Marys I need for this?
Yeah, like, spoiler alert, that's how The Godfather ends. He's like the godfather of a new baby, and he's whacking everybody at the same time.
Right. No, he's not, Ted. He's in there getting his baby baptized.
I think it's the perfect time to do confession. Forgive me, Father, I have sinned. What is your sin? I'm robbing you.
I'm robbing you.
I'm going to need that chalice.
Give me a wallet. A new survey found the majority...
Throw in one of those fancy robes you wear on Sunday. And the hat.
Damn. Is that sash silk? A new survey found the majority of people set a goal for themselves during the quarantine. And I've got the top 8 here for you, so let's have some fun with this one. What do you think is on the top 8 goals that people set for themselves during the quarantine?
Learn a language.
Learn a new language.
Learn to bake.
Learning to bake. Miles, any guesses?
Exercising.
Exercising. Here are the top goals people set for themselves during the quarantine. Number 8, learn a new hobby.
Okay.
How do you set out to learn a new hobby? Do you have to want to get into that hobby?
Something that you've always had kind of a general interest in, but now that you have the more maybe time to try it out at home.
Sure.
Like if you always wanted to brew beer.
Yeah.
It's maybe a great time to get started.
Or try S&M and bondage.
Yeah. Because you have more time.
And look, baby, we got more time. So when I ordered the Gimp suit, let's just do this.
Sure.
I was going to say chess.
Or that. All right, baby, I'm thinking S&M or chess. Which one you want to do?
King me. Number 7, practice meditation or mindfulness, which honestly a lot of people probably needed during all that time.
I can see why right now that is something people want to pursue.
Still need.
These are the top goals people set for themselves during the quarantine. Number 6, to read more. That's my goal all the time.
Sure.
Yeah, I said that too.
How many books you read this year, Ted?
Oh, that's a 0.
Right there with you, brother. These are the top goals people set for themselves during the quarantine. Number 5, talk to a friend or loved one once a day. Yes.
I did do that.
Yeah, I started talking to my kids.
Once a day?
Sure.
Okay.
That's so much.
It's probably not the same one, but I think it's reach out to somebody once a day.
All right, fair enough.
Which I did start taking up, and honestly, it's nice. You know, I moved out a while ago, and I haven't been keeping up as much as I needed to, and now I'm starting to reconnect a little bit.
Did you call your aunt?
Did I call? No, she called me.
I know.
It was disappointing.
And you were like shocked that she did. So I don't think you're reaching out to everybody.
No,
well,
she
not
was
everybody.
shocked that she did.
All right.
That was a very lovely conversation. I miss her. I love her.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Number 4, learn something new every day.
Well, I would hope you do that every day anyway.
That gets cumbersome, though. I mean, after a while, what else am I going to... Do you wake up and say, what am I going to learn today?
I think you accidentally learn a few things. You can sit down and watch Jeopardy and be like, well, I will be damned. I did not know that.
Fair enough. But can you wake up the next morning and remember it?
Oh, hell no.
Uh-huh. These are the top goals people set for themselves during the quarantine. Number 3, have a more positive attitude. Well, that went out the window awful quick.
I'm going to say people have failed at that.
I mean, your heart was in the right place. You just didn't quite keep up with it.
I'm saying collectively, I don't know that we've met that goal.
Well, get off Facebook. Is that on there?
Amen to that.
That would help.
Unfortunately, Miles, no, it's not.
Okay.
Let's move on. These are the top goals people set for themselves during quarantine. Number 2, work out or exercise more. There you are, Miles. Good work.
Yeah, people always say that. We know you don't mean it.
Right. All of a sudden, there was everybody that needed to run a marathon as soon as the lockdown happened. You remember that?
I know. I'm going to train for a marathon. Yeah, okay. All right.
And the number 1 goal that people set for themselves during the quarantine, any final guesses? Eating healthier or follow a diet.
Well, that's as boring as the New Year's Eve stuff.
I have nothing to do. My life sucks. Let's eat zucchini.
Let's eat stuff that doesn't make me happy. This
Honestly,
is the time to gorge yourself on fried ice cream.
Yeah, the thing is, I went the opposite direction. I was starving myself during the quarantine, so I lost plenty of weight.
I guess that's what I would. I would rather be hungry than eat healthy.
Yeah.
Because when you're hungry, you're just hungry. When I eat healthy, I'm like, I hate the taste in my mouth.
Mike, have you lost weight or gained weight through the thing?
I have lost weight.
You have lost weight? How much have you lost?
Let's see. I've lost about 20 pounds throughout this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, when you see somebody every day, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, you don't know. Mm-hmm. What we're saying, you look like crap to us.
Yeah, I know.
But other people, they might be like, oh, Mike, your
penis looks so much bigger.
Back to some good news. For the last week of October, Lowe's locations around the country will have drive-through trick-or-treat stations.
Okay, that's good because trick-or-treat's canceled in a lot of areas. Mm-hmm. So, and you can't do the party thing because that's even a worst-case scenario.
2 Disney fans that saw the massive layoffs from the company started a food drive fundraiser that raised enough to pay upwards of 200,000 meals for the employees that were laid off.
Damn. Okay.
That's impressive.
Good on you. I like it. Correctional officers in Oklahoma are facing charges of inhumane discipline, but you'll never guess what they did.
What were they doing?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This. We'll take caller 9 at 206-421-ROCK. All right, have we made it to drinking time?
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.